Hey guys,
Hey!
we're here.
Welcome to another episode of Not Enough Thumbs.
Trying to hack our way through a live countdown. So
let us know what you
see
think.
how this goes.
Jump on there and let us know what you think of our countdown.
I'm not sure why we can't see the chat right now, so we'll try to respond somehow through my phone.
Yeah, there we go. I can't see it that way though.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, okay. So this was kind of a final week for our romance love movies.
Yes.
Because it was February, still majority of this week. That was pretty much what we got in. We didn't get any March movies in this week, so we will be wrapping up our February movie month. And then we're moving on. We have quite a good list already started for March. So we'll be bringing some good movies to you in March.
And I gotta say...
And our theme is St. Patrick's. Anything St. Patrick's, Irish, any of that.
What? How many movies are...
There's a lot. I have
Really?
a list. Yeah, I know. I was
Not The Irishman. Not The Irishman.
No. So I don't know. That might be our last resort if we run out of movies.
No resort. Okay.
Okay, so our first movie is called The Last Letter from Your Lover from 2021. So this one was kind of a twofold story wrapped into one. It was nowadays journalist who finds these letters of a forbidden love. And so she tries to backtrack and track down the people who wrote these letters to each other.
So this isn't from another century. Everybody's alive in the same time period.
So by the end, you find that she does track down these people, but as the story plays out, it's playing out through the previous timeline. So it is a split timeline movie. So the original timeline, it's about a married woman who falls in love with this other man. Her husband finds out about it, fakes the death of the other man, and she goes on living thinking that her lover was dead. Then she stumbles across him many, many years later and realizes that he had never died in the car accident they were in. Her husband had lied about it. So she confronted her husband about it, and she ends up taking their daughter and leaving him. She still doesn't end up with her lover, but she also doesn't end up with her husband. So it's kind of a sad... But in the end, the journalist reunites them, and they get to see each other one last time at the very end.
This journalist was totally playing hookup with this couple. She's just so intrigued by this story, and she also was trying to figure out a relationship too, wasn't she? The reporter was?
So she...
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so she was kind of... had her own love story going on with this other guy who worked in her office with her.
Oh, that's right.
Or he was her boss or something, I think.
He was in charge of the records room, and he was always very peculiar about... or a stickler to the rules.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, so they did not get along in the beginning... And, of course, they end up together at the end. But,
of course,
like I said, she
love
just
stories are supposed to go.
Completely just played Mrs. Hookup. And as she pointed out earlier, this is just a messed up love rectangle.
Yeah.
I mean, the husband and wife don't work things out. Pretty much it. And there's an affair that takes place. So, yeah, it's great.
I mean, it kept you wondering what was going to happen, and the love story was sweet in it, but knowing that she was cheating on her husband the whole time was just kind of, I don't know.
That just kind of tainted the whole story.
It ruined it for me. So, I would probably give this movie a 6.
I'll maybe do a 5.5.
Okay.
I gotta say, I like the way that it was filmed. I didn't mind going back and forth between the time periods. I think I liked the actor of the whoever she was. I can't remember the old guy towards the end. the cheater. We'll call him the cheater. The one that's writing the letters.
Okay.
So
Joe Alwyn.
I don't know, I just like, I guess I like the way I like how he played out his character, although the character was a nasty person, but
Not really. I mean, he was a good guy. He just knew that
he just knew that he was
splitting up a
interfering
marriage.
with the marriage.
Right.
Yeah, that's all.
So, all right. So there you have that one. That one was The Last Letter from Your Lover from 2021. See it at your own risk. Okay. The next one is actually a Britney Spears movie from the early 2000s.
I've been wanting to see this
Totally.
so long.
She actually wasn't a bad actress in the movie. She actually did a good job acting, considering her main job as a singer.
Yeah.
She's a decent actor.
So I guess if you're one thing, it's hard to pull off another, especially acting. I think acting is really hard to do because you've got to convince the audience of the particular emotion that your character has for every moment, and so
Yeah.
So
this movie was Crossroads from 2002. So,
hello, the Rap Rabbit.
well, hello. Thanks for joining in.
Yes, 1 out of 10. There you go.
So anyway, this was a story of 3 teenage girls who were graduating from high school. They decided to go on this little adventure, but none of them had a car. So one of the girls knew this boy who had a car and convinced him to go on this road trip with them. So they go on this adventure and they learn things about each other. And so their main goal was to dig up this time capsule that they had buried 10 years prior when they were kids. So they went to go dig this thing up, and in the meantime, they relearned about each other, got to know each other, realized why they were friends in the first place, and it was a really cute story about friendship and the importance of friendship, even though things in your lives may change and you might seem to be going different directions. It was neat to see that their friendship still lasted, and by the end of it, they, instead of burying things from that they were going to look forward to in 10 years, they buried their past, which was kind of a cute idea, meaning that they're getting rid of their past and they're just going to move forward.
Forward. It
was cute. And of course, in the meantime, Britney Spears falls in love with the boy with the car.
What? No way.
Yeah. So I thought it was a cute movie. I'd seen it before.
What's the year? 2002?
Yeah,
so this
probably
is still,
when it first came out. I've seen it, and I don't think I've seen it since.
This is still a pretty young Britney Spears. She
Yeah.
was popular when I was in college.
Yeah, I mean, it was 22 years ago.
This is pretty really early on in her career.
Yeah.
Straight out of Disney.
And she does sing in the movie, so of course you get to hear some Britney singing. I would probably give it a 7. I thought it was pretty decent.
I gave it a 6.
Okay. There you have it. That was
Just
Crossroads from
purely,
2002.
Yeah, 6 from a purely entertainment value.
All right. And then since we had a sick little one, we watched quite a few Disney movies that would still be considered love stories. So the first one was 101 Dalmatians. This has a love story between the dogs as well as between the humans.
1961.
Yeah, 1961. So we did watch the original 1961 version of it.
It's been a while since I've seen this movie from start to finish, besides picking it up on the TV whenever the kids watch it. And so I'm actually not too fresh in the story. I didn't watch it when they watched it this week, but I like the way these older cartoons were animated. There's something about that kind of style of film that's, I don't know, just very appealing to me.
Yeah.
Original, I guess.
Yeah. So, of course, you have the love story with the dogs. The 2 dogs fall in love, and they have these 101 puppies, right? They have a bunch of puppies. And then Cruella de Vil comes into the picture, and
eats the puppies.
She does not eat the puppies. She loves fur coats and fur things. So she thought that Dalmatian coats would make beautiful fur. So she tries to kidnap the dogs. Well, of course, then Mom and Dad Dog don't allow that to happen. And figure out a way to find their babies and get their babies back.
Kind of strange because aren't Dalmatians short-haired dogs? How good of a fur can you make with a short-haired dog?
I don't know, but she sure does try.
Must have killed a lot of puppies. 102 puppies.
But she doesn't. Anyway, so it's a cute story. If you haven't seen it in a while, definitely go back and rewatch it. Like he said, the old style movies are so good, and they're so they're just classic. They're must watches for sure. And I love the disclaimer at the beginning of the Disney movies.
Of course.
We do not stand by the things that happen in this movie, please. Police. For its time, it was very classy movie.
Man, even now I'm having trouble finding the
right.
things
I don't see any problem
Disney's
in the movie
claiming.
now. It's crazy.
And another thing about these older movies is the kind of music that's in the background. It's not all pop music. It's usually classical music.
Yeah.
Just like the old Looney Tunes.
Yep. And then the characters just move to the music.
It's
and
really
it
good
fits.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love the classic Disney movies. I would give it an 8.
Okay.
I guess he's not rating it. So it's
I'm not going to rate it. It's probably good.
Okay. And then the next one is...
It's so lame. I give it
you're
a
kinda lame.
7.5.
Okay. All right, WALL-E from 2008.
Here we go. This is
a...
a really cool one because I think it. Well, first it's you see the Earth and the Earth is in ruins. Nobody's there except for this little robot and just
adorable little robot.
heaps of trash everywhere. I mean, I cannot imagine.
I mean, I could see it. People
the Earth,
are gross.
Skyscrapers just piled high with trash, and it's just become a nasty environment. And you learn that this company, by and large, has, or the Earth rather, has evacuated into the spaceship Axiom.
Shocker.
Yep.
Considering that's what they're trying to get us to do now.
Let's go to Mars.
Right.
I'll go to Mars if Elon can pull off the atmosphere over there.
So in the whole scheme of it, they realize that the Earth still is a better place than the spaceship. All of the people on the spaceship are overweight and can barely move.
And it's funny because when it shows the captains from when they first started to the current time, the captain is just your average or probably even athletic build, and then they were slowly getting overweight over time.
It was over 100 years or something, wasn't it?
700 years. They were in space for 700 years.
Okay. I didn't remember that part.
And that's because they had all the robots taking care of all of their comforts, from inclining their chairs so that a robot can brush your teeth.
Motorized chairs that took them everywhere, so they never had to walk anywhere.
And screens in front of them 100% of the time, so they're not even aware of each other's existence. And you find that out when WALL-E interrupts one of the passengers' screens, and the screen shuts off, and suddenly he's just aware of everything around him.
Yeah, all the big screens everywhere and everything.
And all of their meals are in a cup.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that so much because I prefer smoothies over eating actual food.
If it's a smoothie, I don't want a blended pizza.
Yeah. No. Protein smoothies are good though.
Yes, I could do that.
I could do that probably every meal and be happy.
Yeah, I love a good
But
smoothie.
I could not eat the same meal twice. Other than a smoothie. I could eat a smoothie every meal, but I couldn't eat the same meal twice.
I could eat salmon for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a year.
No. All right, what do you rate WALL-E?
Oh, we're done talking about it? Is there anything else to say?
Go ahead. What else you got to say?
I thought it was a great original
there's
story.
a love story between WALL-E and Eva.
Eve. Yeah. I don't know.
Eve is the new age robot, by the way.
Yeah, I think this generation, I would call the newer generation of cartoons from Disney that were really entertaining, and they kind of followed the footsteps of, like, say, Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, and what were some other ones that came out around that time?
There's so many.
I guess Toy Story being their first animated one.
Yeah.
So this had a lot of creativity and originality through a not so original concept.
Yeah.
So Disney was doing a great job in this time, and I they're kind of getting diluted with their content lately. So it's a good thing they have curated the Australians for Bluey on Disney Plus.
That's about the only decent thing that's come out most recent from Disney.
Gordon Ramsay's show. I forget what it's called, but he's cooking everywhere around the world.
Yeah.
I would give WALL-E a 9.
All right, I give it an 8.
It's cute, it's funny, it's entertaining.
It is.
And it's easy to watch even, from day to day.
Yeah. All right, there you have it. That's WALL-E from 2008. The next movie.
Gross. Lord said Food Theory said they were human smoothies.
What does that mean?
What's
a human smoothie?
Sweeney Todd meat pies.
Oh, stop! Ew. No. Okay, the next movie. Before we go down that rabbit hole, the next movie is Lady and the Tramp from 1955.
See,
so
this
is another classic Disney movie. Of course, you get the disclaimer at the beginning of this one, too.
It's offensive. Why? I don't know.
So this is a cute story about a couple who are newlyweds, and the husband gets his wife a dog. She names it Lady. They have a baby.
You called me the dog. Never called me the dog.
So Lady sees what it's like when her family has a baby and she's not priority anymore.
Dogs don't belong on beds. They don't.
Nobody said nothing about a dog on a bed.
But he kicked the dog off the bed, right? Didn't the dog want to get on the bed? The dog.
He just doesn't like dogs.
I like cats.
Do you like these cats?
Like Gaylord Fokker. He's a cat person.
So the current cats we have are peeing everywhere. So they're not great. But
they'll make good cat stew.
They move on in about a week, so that's fine. Anyway, back to Lady and the Tramp. So then Lady meets the neighborhood dogs and also the stray dogs, and she falls in love with the tramp, who is... And the funny thing is, when the howl happens, our dog howls right along with it.
I missed that.
She did that in 101 Dalmatians too, when it had the scene where it was the city, and you hear all the dogs howl throughout all the town because they're communicating to try to find the Dalmatians. She sits up in her bed and howls like all the rest of them. So she's in unison with the TV. Yeah. So if you don't think your animals are paying attention to what you're watching, you are 100% wrong. They absolutely are listening and ready to jump right in when the moment hits them. But anyway, back to Lady and the Tramp. So she falls in love. My favorite scene is the spaghetti scene.
Where do they go?
Yes.
Hey, shortchanged me.
So they kiss over the spaghetti noodle. It's super cute.
Kiss.
We're on air. This is family friendly.
We're at home.
I don't care. It's family friendly. So anyway, it's a cute little love story between the dogs, and they end up at the end having a dog family.
Is Tramp his name?
Yes.
He was a cool dog.
And one of his friends was Trixie.
Oh, right. Was that
Trixie
the older
and Moxie.
dog?
No, she was kind of the stylish dog. With
Oh.
the little hair and a face and flips, and she was in the prison with him. And
oh, okay.
in the pound with him, I guess.
I like the older dog. He had that.
The hound dog. That was
he had the voice.
It lost his sense of smell.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I forget his name. But yeah, he was cute. So it's a cute movie. Another good classic. If you haven't seen it, you need to. They're so good. Just ignore the disclaimer because those are bogus.
Offended.
But I probably would give this one a 9. I love it.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah.
8.5.
Okay, that's Lady and the Tramp from 1955.
Wow, 1955.
1955. It's even older than 101 Dalmatians.
I wasn't even born then.
You think? Your dad probably was barely born at that point. Okay. The next one, I don't think you saw. We were going to watch it together, and we didn't end up getting to it, but it's called Overcomer 2019. So I had a ladies craft weekend thing. So me and the gals always watch movies. So we watched a few without him. So the next couple, he's not going to have any input in really. But they're good. You might remember 27 Dresses. I think we watched that. Anyway, we're not there yet. Overcomer from 2019. So this is...
I got to see this one.
Yeah, it's good. This is a... what is it? Sherwood Productions movie. The Kendrick brothers put on this set of movies. So there's Fireproof, there's War Room, there's
Facing the Giants. What was their very first one where he was a car?
Oh, Flywheel.
That was their original one, which was also really good, even though it had home video quality. It's great lessons in there.
Good story. So these are religious-based movies. So they have a religious outcome towards the end of them, which I love about them. This one is basically about a girl who has asthma, doesn't think she would really be able to make it sports-wise. She wants to run, but has a terrible time with it because of her asthma. She had always been told her dad died because he was into drugs, and that killed him. And... What are you doing?
La, 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 la,
he just want to hear.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to forget anyway.
So she ends up getting to meet her dad and confronting her grandmother who lied about him being dead. And I'm not going to give the whole story away, but she ends up... You're so weird. Why are you so weird? But she ends up fulfilling her dream in the end. So I'm not going to give away the entire story, but it was so good. In my book, it's a 10.
Cool. Yeah, maybe I'll try to watch it this week.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
All right, so Overcomer from 2019. Great movie. And any of the Sherwood production movies are fabulous.
One of my favorites is Facing the Giants, but even their productions after that have just continued to improve.
Yes,
pretty cool.
Sure. Yep. And then the next one is 27 Dresses from 2008. Do you remember this one?
Who's the lead? Maybe
Katherine Heigl.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So she's always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Basically, is the theme of the movie. She was a bridesmaid 27 times, kept all of the dresses. A journalist who was kind of failing at his job, not really finding any great stories. He was about to get fired. He runs into her, decides to run her story, but in the meantime falls in love with her. And then she gets upset with him, of course, for running a story about her, which makes her look like a crazy person, going to all these weddings but not taking any time to find anybody herself. And in the meantime, they fell in love with each other. So they end up together in the end. I know. Great love story.
Is Gerard Butler in it?
Nope.
Oh, bummer. Who's the guy?
What's his name?
Matthew McConaughey?
No.
Tom Cruise?
James Martin.
I don't even know who that is.
He is the Green Goblin. Isn't he the Green Goblin? He's in one of the...
No, that's the other guy.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember his name. Okay.
He looks like a young him. Yeah. Good. He's a good actor, though. I like him. I liked their dynamic together. They were good. I've watched this one 100 times. I love it. I love going back and watching it. I think it's cute. It's funny. It's, I don't know. I like Katherine Heigl. I think she's funny. I would probably give it an 8.
Cool.
It's 8 worthy.
Not rated.
Yeah, he didn't watch it. Okay, the next one I watched that he did not watch. I had seen it before. One of the other girls at the craft weekend picked it. It was Forever My Girl from 2018. It's basically a story of a couple who was supposed to get married. He flipped out, left her at the altar, didn't even show up to the wedding. He takes off. Years later, he finds himself back he had gotten onto drugs, went into rehab. At the end of his rehab, he had to go home. That was part of the recovery process. And so he went back home and finds out that he had a daughter. And she was pregnant and was going to tell him at their wedding. And since he left, she tried to call him, left a message, and told him, you need to call me back. If you don't call me back, I know you don't care. And he never did call her back. He was too strung out to do so. But he would listen to her message every day. He listened to her message every day for however many years it was. I forget what it was.
The message that he left her?
The message she left him.
Oh.
He kept his old flip phone all those years and never let it die. And every time it got broken a couple times, and he went in and made them fix it so that he could get the message. And so he had this old broken down duct taped phone because it had the message from her in it. So he did still love her. He just knew that he wasn't worthy of her because he was a mess.
Okay.
So he ends up meeting his daughter, realizing that he loves her and the daughter. They go through some drama, but in the end, they do end up together. Which
the family does?
The family ends up together.
Oh, that's a good ending.
Yeah, it was a really cute ending. Really cute movie. So I mean, it could have been dramatized a little better. I would probably give it a 7. It had a great story, and I love the ending. The drama was a little bit lacking in it.
Okay.
So I would give it a 7. But it's worth watching, and
sounds like a good
I've
story.
said, I've seen it before, and I loved watching it again. So.
Some pretty deep conflict in there.
It is, yeah, and it had a great storyline behind it that, you know, even if you make mistakes, you still have a chance for redemption. You just have to try, give it a shot. So it was good story. All right, and then the last one was The Secret, Dare to Dream.
Dude, I didn't see this one either.
You didn't see this one either, and this one was good.
Peace out.
So this one starts with a mom and her 3 kids, a single mom with her 3 kids. She's single because she's a widower. Her husband had died in a plane accident. Just a series of conflicts happens with her. All of these bad things start happening to her. Her husband dies. The house is in a storm, and a tree falls and goes through the house, and just all of these things. She doesn't have any money because her husband was a money maker and he had died. So now she doesn't have any money, and the house is destroyed. Their car got destroyed, and just a series of terrible things were happening to this woman. Well, then this guy shows up and says, well, I'm going to help you. I'm a contractor. I'm going to fix your house, and I can do it for little to no cost at all.
I can fix it.
And so she's skeptical about him. I don't know. I don't have the money. I can't pay you. And he says, I'm going to do it because I want to do it, not because I expect anything out of it. Well, you find out in the end that he was her husband's partner in the business they were in, and he was in the plane wreck with the husband and watched him die. And so he the project that they were working on, that the husband actually figured out how to make it work, this friend ended up getting the, what do you call it, not the copyright, but the patent. He got the patent on it. Got the patent on it, and sold a bunch of it, and ended up leaving her with like $100 million. So he ends up giving that to her at the end. But in the whole roundabout, she starts falling for him, but she was engaged to somebody else, but the somebody else wasn't right for her, and she just thought she needed to be with him to support her family, but she didn't end up really loving him, so she ended up falling for this contractor guy.
She fell for her Jack Dawson.
She did.
And left the dude.
She does end up with the contractor
Good
guy
for
at
her.
the end. Yeah. Well, she finds out she doesn't really end up with him, but she ends up in a good relationship with him. They don't end up getting married or anything like that by the end of the film.
Okay. That's
but
a very realistic
she realizes
ending.
that he was telling the truth the whole time, and that, and then after she got mad at him because he didn't tell her the truth the whole time, or that she didn't think he was telling her the truth, she gets the letter with the money. And then she's like, oh, wow, maybe he was telling the truth. And then all of these things that he had talked about, she traced back and found out he was in fact, telling the truth the whole time.
Sounds like an interesting story.
It's a very interesting story, and it has Katie Holmes. So Katie Holmes I haven't seen, and Josh Lucas. Josh Lucas is the man she falls for.
Katie Holmes was in Batman Begins.
Yes. So she looks much older in this film. I mean, she is our age, so I guess.
Oh, really?
She's looking at these days, but she did great with acting in the film. I thought she did a great job. She was the drama was good. I liked her chemistry with Josh Lucas. His name was Bray in the film, so I liked their chemistry together. I was kind of hoping that they would kind of seal the deal at the end and end up together, but I guess you have to imagine that they end up together.
Okay. Still a realistic ending, sounds like.
Yeah, it was good. So I would probably give it a 7. I thought it was worth watching. It's
cool.
Worth watching at least once.
Okay.
All right, so that is a wrap.
Yes!
Our
Yes! On to
He's not happy at all
weird
to move on to St. Patrick's Day.
movies. I don't even know where to start.
I have a
Jaws.
list.
There's probably some Irishmen in Jaws.
I asked our friends, and they threw some good ones at us, and they're going to be right up your alley.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Some horror in there. The Leprechaun is apparently horror.
No.
Yeah.
Really? I've never seen any of the Leprechaun movies.
Well, we're gonna.
Doesn't Colleen like Leprechaun?
She does, and she suggested a few other ones too.
Oh, it's almost her birthday.
I know.
I'll give her a shout out.
My friend Colleen, her birthday is St. Patrick's Day. So, happy early birthday, Colleen! But we'll be on alive again before then, so we'll say another shout out. Maybe she'll actually watch us that time. All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Do we have any comments we need to respond to, or did you do a good job doing that?
This was all of them. Wally. You cannot rate something 100 out of 10. It's not even possible. Lord get rolled.
Oh, man. Any other good comments on there?
Here.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to catch up. What is a human smoothie? Ew.
Sweeney Todd.
No, why would you go there?
Sorry about the delayed chat responses. I'm going to try to iron this out after the live.
Yeah, we're trying to make some positive changes to things. So there's going to be a couple weeks of trying to figure out how to do it the best way.
I am putting together a really cool supercut of videos for our countdown.
Yeah.
And
who got scammed, Lord Gedrald? Which movie are you talking about there?
I think when we were talking about Lady and the Tramp, and then I didn't get a kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Totally scammed.
Totally
scammed.
Totally.
So, I'm going to put this out there whenever we have our countdown, our official countdown video out there, besides the chickens. Although the chickens are really cool and fun to watch, even though it's a 15-second loop. The video is going to be made up of 30-plus movie clips. On the honor system, if you can name all of the movies, then you'll get, if we can get to you, you get 6 cookies from Miwan Cookie,
Whoa,
one of our leading sponsors.
Nice. All right, so there you go. Work for some cookies.
Family members excluded.
Aw. Man.
Just kidding.
All right, so something to look forward to. So watch as we kind of change things. Let us know if you like the changes, if you don't like the changes, if you like the original way. What do y'all think about backdrops? Should we do one of those weird backdrops? Or do you like our lovely curtain backdrop?
Yeah, I want to try to tackle a backdrop or overlay after tackling this.
I just don't like when it's weird and it looks weird.
We'll try to avoid the soft edges around the people. Weirdness.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure all that out. So let us know if something works for you. If you do lives and you have a certain backdrop that works, let us know. We're trying to figure all that out.
Increasing
updates.
Our production value for you.
Right. So tell your friends to come watch.
All 2 of them.
Hey, 200 of them?
200.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. And we'll see you Tuesday for our episode 58.
Talking about the movie.
And then our Friday faves. And then, of course, our lives every Sunday night at 9:30.
See you next time.
Bye.